My name is Vojchehoske, and welcome to the Real Estate Classroom YouTube channel. It's just a place where real estate professionals can get tools and tips to stay out of real estate jail. And if you would, real quick, click on that little subscribe button and the notification bell right next to it. And if you would, give this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Either way, I don't care. Both creates traffic for my channel. Today's question is, are listing agents required to disclose that they have offers in on their property? Here's a common scenario. A buyer's agent has a buyer that's interested and maybe writing an offer, so that buyer's agent calls up the listing agent and asks, hey, do you have any offers in on the property? What is the listing agent's obligation? And the answer can be found in the National Association of Realtors Code of Ethics, specifically Standard of Practice 115. And that's what we're going to discuss here. If you would, go ahead and take a look at the screen here, and let's read specifically what it says. It says, realtors, in response to inquiries from buyers or cooperating brokers, shall, with the seller's approval, disclose the existence of offers on the property where disclosure is authorized. All right, let's stop right there for a minute, because this first half of this paragraph says a lot of things. Number one, listing agents under the Code of Ethics, and if you're a member of NAR, then you cannot disclose any offers that you may have on that property unless you have the seller's permission. And if you have the seller's permission, then it says you shall, and here's a trigger, in response to inquiries from buyers or cooperating brokers, you shall make the disclosure. A lot of people think that they automatically can, but that's not what the Code of Ethics says. Secondly, let's look at the second half. Where disclosure is authorized, realtors shall also disclose, again, if asked, whether offers were obtained by the listing licensee, another licensee in the listing firm, or by a cooperating broker. So that part of it says that, again, if you have permission from the seller to make the disclosure, and if the buyer's cooperating broker or the buyer's agent asks whether or not you have offers in on the property and they want to know the source of those offers, then you must disclose. The key is, one, seller approval, and number two is, once you have seller approval, then you are obligated under the code to comply. All right, here's a little thing from a risk management point of view that I thought I'd throw up here. It's a very good idea, and it's very common for listing agents or for listing brokers to have some standardized language in their listing contract that automatically allows the agent to make that disclosure. I highly recommend that, because if you don't have it in there, every case by case, you're going to have to get the seller's permission. If you get the seller's permission, make sure, as it says on the screen here, you get it in writing. And lastly, I'd just like to point this out. I get this quite a lot when I teach ethics, particularly in the rural areas, where the listing agent or the listing broker is a member of NAR, but the buyer agent is not. In those cases, it still doesn't matter. If you're a member of NAR, you must comply with the code, regardless of whether or not the cooperating broker is a member or not. All right. So if you're a buyer's agent, what do you do if the listing agent does not comply with your request? And the answer is, have the conversation with them and remind them of their standard of practice under 115 and ask if they have permission from their seller to make such disclosures. If they do, and they still refuse, then have the conversation with the listing broker. If the listing broker does not comply, then your only option at that point, if you choose, I shouldn't say the only option, one option is you can file an ethics complaint against the listing agent and the listing broker. All right, next question that always arises out of this discussion is, what about accepted offers? What if the listing agent has already accepted an offer, or the seller's already accepted an offer on the property? Well, it is then compulsory, not only under most agency laws or license laws in most states, but also under the code, specifically Standard of Practice 3.6, that the disclosure must be made. So as soon as that buyer's agent does call and say, hey, my buyer is interested, at that point, the listing agent is required to make the disclosure that they already have an offer in on the property, including any offers that may have outstanding contingencies. And again, that's Standard of Practice 3.6. That's it for this video. If you would, please leave your comments, Don't forget to subscribe and hit that thumbs up or that thumbs down. Click that little notification bell. If I missed anything, put it in the comments and I'll respond to any questions. Until next week, get out there and sell something.